ओके ठीक है। Good afternoon, welcome to Vanik-Ias, and we'll discuss current affairs 12th April. Sorry for the delay due to some technical problem. Some delay happens. Okay, we'll proceed. So first topic is Indonesia's palm oil crisis. Right. Okay. The world's largest producer and exporter of palm oil is facing domestic shortages leading to price control and export collapse. That is Indonesia, right? Majority of our we are importing various oils from other countries, so that's why we are also suffering because of it. So let's discuss why it is that, and majorly it is Indonesia who is the exporter of palm oil. Now it is facing domestic shortages. Why there is oil crisis in Indonesia? Right. Why there is oil crisis in Indonesia? First thing, the Indonesian government imposes selling on retail prices. Price caps, however, led to product disappearing from the market amid reports of hoarding. What happens when you control the selling of a product? What happens when you control the selling of a product? Black marketing starts. Right. Black marketing starts. Black marketing starts when you control the holding of a particular product. India was also holding various products like rations in before 1991, after just first post independence. At that time also we suffer black marketing, right? When it will be unavailable, it will be sold at a higher price in the black market. That's why there is after selling is imposed on retail prices, product is started disappearing from the market and reports of hoarding. Why some people hoard them? Because when they hoard them, and after the price cap finished, suppose some people will not get from normal supply, then they will buy with a high price. That's why hoarding practices are encouraged. It was also happening in India just after independence. Government also made it compulsory for exporters to sell 20% of their planned shipment in the domestic market. Exporters, they have to sell 20% of the planned shipment in the domestic market. That means export is reduced by 20%. Right? That need to be used in the domestic market. So every country, exports hampered. Right? Supply dispute, man-made and natural other cooking oils, especially sunflower and soybean. There is supply disruption. One reason is Ukraine and Russia crisis. They together account 80% of global trade in account for nearly 80% of global trade in sunflower oil, and quite comparable to 90% share of Indonesia and Malaysia in palm. Right. So both countries, for example, first in the crisis happened in Indonesia. Also, the crisis happened in Russia and Ukraine, which account around 80% of global trade in sunflower oil. As war is going in those areas, so export is hampered. And soybean oil too is facing issues due to dry weather in South America. Due to dry weather in South America, soybean oil is also suffered. Supply tightness in sunflower and soybean and drought respectively has transmitted to palm oil. The supply tightness in sunflower and soybean. So soybean crisis is because there is dry weather in South America, and sunflower crisis is because there is the war between Ukraine and Russia. So there is and the supply tightness in sunflower and soybean that has now transmitted to palm oil and the demand of palm oil increased. Use of palm oil as biofuel. Indonesian government has since 2020 made 30% blending of diesel with palm oil mandatory as a plan to slash fossil fuel imports. So because of oil producing of biofuel, 30% of palm oil is used producing biofuel. Now that is another crisis. So 30% supply reduced because that is used in fossil fuel as decided by the Indonesian government. Right. Okay. Next. So there is crisis in Russia and Ukraine who are producing sunflower oil. There is also crisis in South America from where we are getting soybean oil. There is also restrictions in Indonesia regarding their biofuel policy and also retail policy. That's why we are facing various crises. Let us know what are the crises faced by India because of such policies or such developments. First is India is world's biggest vegetable oil importer. Out of its annual imports 14 to 15 metric ton, highest share is palm oil, followed by soybean and highest share is palm oil, followed by soybean and sunflower. It is biggest vegetable oil importer. Indonesia has been top supplier of palm oil, though it was overtaken by Malaysia. So now Malaysia and Indonesia they both are supplying palm oil to India, but now that is hamper. That is some to certain extent. We do not see continuous supply of palm oil for Indonesia and Malaysia. Indonesian government has lifted its retail price caps on palm oil along with 30% market sale obligation on exporters. At the same time, it levied progressive tax on exports linked to a reference price for CPU. Right? For what does it mean? That it lifted. The 30% domestic market sale obligation was lifted, but taxes imposed. As taxes imposed in Indonesia, that led to increase in price in the oil. The restrictions on exports, even in the form of levy, take into cognizance of Indonesia's high population as well as its ambitious biofuel program. Right? Because of its ambitious biofuel program and restriction on exports, take into account of higher population, right? That affected the higher population in Indonesia and also India, right? Okay. About palm oil, it is an edible vegetable oil that comes from fruit of palm trees having scientific name Elis guinensis. Elis guinensis. This is edible vegetable oil. Palm oil is an incredibly efficient crop, producing more oil per land area than any other equivalent vegetable crop. Increasingly efficient crop, producing more oil per land area than other equivalent vegetable crop, fulfill 35% of world's vegetable oil demand and in just 10% of land. It is high efficiency. So there is high demand of palm oil, right? Throughout the world. Two types of oil can be produced. Crude palm oil comes and palm kernel oil, which has more demand. Palm oil is extremely versatile oil that has many different properties and presently near 50% of package. Palm oil is a major driver of deforestation in some of the world's most biodiverse forests. Major driver of deforestation, palm oil, to get destroying the habitat of already endangered species like orangutan, pygmy elephant, and Sumatran rhino. So these are very important information regarding palm oil. Its botanical name is Elis guinensis, and it fulfills 30 points or 35% oil requirements of the world. And two types of oil can be produced. That is, one is crude palm oil, another is kernel oil, right? And it also creates major deforestation in most biodiversity forests, and that is destroying the habitat of orangutan, Sumatran rhino, etc. Okay, next. oilseeds. India is one of the major oilseed growers and importers of edible oils. India's edible oil economy is world's fourth largest after USA. India's vegetable oil economy is fourth largest after USA. Oilseed accounts for 30% of GDP gross crop area, 3% of gross national product, 10% of value of all agricultural commodities. Oilseed cultivation is undertaken across the country, around 27 million hectares, mainly on marginal lands, which is 72% confined to rain-fed farming. Right? Rain-fed farming, that is one of the major problems, right? If 70% land area are rain-fed, that means they are dependent on the monsoon. So, if any time the monsoon, suppose monsoon rainfall comes, then productivity reduces to a greater extent. Right? That is the issue. Oilseed cultivation, issue with oilseed cultivation. Next, a substantial portion of our requirement of edible oil is made through import of palm oil from Indonesia and Malaysia. So, especially we are importing from Indonesia and Malaysia. Remember this prelims very important. We are importing palm oil from Indonesia and Malaysia. We are importing sunflower from Ukraine and Russia and other vegetable oil from South America as well. We are importing. So, these five countries, they are very important so far as our oilseeds are concerned, right? And the major problem is that 70%, 72% of our oilseed area which are cropped, they are dependent, they are rain-fed. And because of that, if any uncertainty happens because of rainfall, that is due to global warming or climate change, then that ultimately affects the supply of or the production of oilseed, and ultimately that lead to high price of oilseed. Then challenges associated with palm oil. Faulty trade policy. The undercut gains in oilseed production productivity is driven by technology mission. Late 1989, early 90s, when government cut duties on edible oil imports, the Indian market collapsed. Palm oil imports from Southeast Asia become cheaper than domestic oilseeds because subsidies provided by those countries. Right? Palm oil imports from South Asia. Our domestic market collapsed. Why? Because their government gives subsidies. That's why the price is less in case of import. That is the issue. And subsequently, Indian people, the Indian market of oilseeds that collapsed because India do not give that much of subsidies to their farmers so far as oilseeds is concerned. Then, small land holdings and water shortage. Small land holdings of farmers with limited resources. Small land holding, less than 80 to 80% of people have less than 2 hectares of land, or majority of them are small farmers, right? Then erratic monsoon, because of climate change, monsoon has become erratic. There is erratic rainfall in various purposes that affects 72% of land areas that are under oilseeds. It leads to shortage of water. Overall shortage in water flow impacts growth of palm oil that lead to water guzzling crops, which is a water guzzling crop. So that affects growth of palm oil because there is shortage of water. So we have to increase our irrigation facilities to produce high amount of oilseeds. And monoculture crop, this restricts the farmers from growing anything else. They are reducing the income flow as well, right? Whenever a person cultivates oilseeds, that restricts the production of any other agricultural produce. That's why the production, there is income flow that affects the income of the farmer. That is one of the major problems regarding monoculture, regarding production of palm oil. Competition from other economical high value crops such as rubber, arecanut, sugarcane, banana, coconut, right? They are economically viable crops. So rather than going for palm oil, they are producing rubber, arecanut, sugarcane, banana, or coconut, right? They are not resorting to the production of palm oil. That's why the price in India is increasing. Then community and land ownership. The impact of community land ownership in tribal lands. The impact on community ownership of tribal lands as being used by a tribal community is being taken over by big farmers, right? Big farmers has taken over the lands of tribal community. That's why farmer is not produced. Long gestation period. It has a long gestation period and is unsuitable for small farmers. Restricts the income to flow to farmers for at least 4 to 5 years before giving real fruits, right? So it's long gestation period. You have to wait for 4 5 years. So a small farmer cannot wait to 4 to 5 years to get money from palm oil. That's why it is resulting to other types of seeds or other types of agriculture practices. It can be only pursued by a big farmer. Invasive species. Oil palm is an invasive species in its plantation would renew the forest cover and destroy the habitat of endangered life. That is oil palm. These seeds are endangered. These are these are invasive species and they are threat to the biodiversity of a particular area. That is also these are the various issues associated with the production of palm oil. For example, one is small land holding. People are in small hand holding means there are very small land holding means farmers are most of the farmers around 80 to 80% of the farmers they belongs to they belongs to having a land holding of less than 2 hectares. That is, they are small scale landholders. What is fast food? Second is monoculture crop. They do not allow. This is invasive species and do not allow. Do not. It is it. Monoculture is essential, right? You cannot produce palm oil in other oil seeds or crops as well. Competition from economic viable crops. Right? For example, if somebody there is so much tension in palm oil, then everybody resort to the farmers resort to rubber and sugarcane, banana, all these things. Right? They get that much of money from other cultivation. But there is risk in palm oil. That community land ownership. Tribal lands are trashed by the big people and small people, the small landholders, they cannot produce edible oil because that is a long gestation period. It is an invasive species. The invasive species means it destroys the biodiversity when it enters to a particular area. So these are the reason why that are the challenges that regarding to palm oil. That is why the agriculture of palm oil is not producing in case of India. The government has taken steps to cool the prices, including reducing import duties of palm, soybean oil, sunflower oil, and limiting inventories to prevent hoarding. Right, limiting inventory to prevent hoarding. You cannot hoard the palm oil. That it need to reduce. So it has also reduced the import duties. Even solution is to import refined palm oil and to sell through public distribution system at below market value. Right. Even a solution that we can sell in a PS system and below market value, but that will lead to change. That will lead to again black marketing of edible palm oil. Due to rationalization, a rise in global rates caused domestic edible oils to surge last year. But the federal government managed to bring down the prices on several measures, including duty rationalization. Rising were caused by domestic edibles surged last year, but federal government, US government, managed to bring the price by including duty rationalization. Next, India is working on a medium to long term plan to cut dependence on import of edible oil. Long term options or the long term option government in building of reserves, boosting domestic production and allowing commercial cultivation of genetically modified or oilseed crops. Genetically modified crops. These are the crops that are created called by biotechnology. Right? They will be high. They will be high productive. They do not require that much. They are drought resistant, pest resistant, now kind of high productive. Then government can produce huge amount of edible oils from oil seeds. Right? National Mission for Oilseed Mission Oil Palm in India is trying to boost domestic production to overcome its dependence on imports. The government launched 1.5 billion initiative called as National Mission for Edible Oil Palm last year to improve self-sufficiency. 1.5 billion initiative, right, for development self-independence on National Mission of Edible Oils. Right. Government has started it, trying to boost production to overcome independence on imports. Okay. Next.
Then what you need to do? First, in India, need to put audible oil reserve to insulate, audible oil reserve to insulate from any price hikes, right? For any uncertainty, India need to increase its edible oil reserve, right? It must store something, right? Then this will allow government to release supply in times of shortage and soften the price to curb the speculation, trading, and hoarding. There will be so that there will be no hoarding. Because it will balance it will in a particular season. Suppose there is high supply of edible oils, then you have to purchase them, you have to store them, and during the crisis of edible oils, you have to government India they need to sell them. This will be similar to what China does in its massive stockpiles of crude oil, strategic metals, and farm goods. India's food stockpile is focused on grains like wheat, rice, which the country produces in abundance. It has not been able to replicate that with edible oils as India relies on imports for 60% of its needs. For 60% of our need is we are dependent on foreign countries. That is the problem. More land should be also diverted to grow soybean, sunflower, and rapeseed crops. More land also be diverted because many of our farmers are small scale farmers. They have less than 2 acres of land, but we want some domestic. We want to self-sufficient. We have to increase our production. That's why more land need to be diverted to soybeans and sunflower and rapeseed crops. The government will need to spend 50 billion rupees a year to boost oilseed output. It has to need to spend 50 billion rupees. That means 5,000 crores. 5,000 crores need to be spent to boost the oilseed output. Farmers will need to shift away from growing wheat, rice, where they guarantee minimum support prices for their crops. So a higher MSP that will ensure production of oilseeds, and as our import is around our import is around 60% of the total need. That means we are largely dependent on foreign countries for requirement of our oilseeds. We have to become self-independent, and this need to be reduced urgently. We have to become self-dependent, right? And we have to reduce the price of the oilseeds. But one method, so these are the things that we need to do. Right, next topic. National Mission on Edible Oils, Oil Palm, that is, and what is this? It is a centrally sponsored scheme. Remember, National Mission on Edible Oil is a centrally sponsored scheme with special focus on Northeast region and Andaman Nicobar Island. Financial outlay of 11,000 crore, 40 crore has been made for the scheme, out of which 8,844 crore by Government of India and 2,196 crore state share, and this in Vanik-Ias funding also. The mission hopes to increase oil palm acreage by an additional 6.5 lakh hectares by 2025. So it has an objective to increase the palm oil acreage by additional 6.5 lakh hectares by 2025 or 6. Grow the production of crude palm oil to 11.2 lakh tons by 2025 to 26, up to 28 lakh tons by 2030. So it's a huge ambitious target. This is the first time Central will give farmers price assurance, with industry mandated to pay Vanik-Ias funding of 14% to the crude oil palm prices. The proposed scheme will subsume the current National Food Security Mission palm oil program. So it is a centrally sponsored scheme. And there is also a provision of viability funding. As also it will focus on Northeast region and Andaman Nicobar Islands. The benefits in this mission: the scheme will immensely benefit oil palm farmers, increase the capital investment, create employment generation, shall reduce the import dependence, and also increase the income of the farmers. Right. then it will reduce the risk of the farmers by for facing price fluctuation because government will guarantee MSP, which from which oil is extracted due to volatility in international market. Decisions will be benefit farmers and make viable to the industry contributing towards making country self-sufficient in edible oil requirements and consecutively save foreign exchange missile powered by solid propellants. It will save foreign exchange, it will make all self-sufficient, and another thing is that it will reduce the price fluctuation. Price fluctuation means in one time we see there is genuine price, suddenly we see there is high price rise. So such price fluctuation will be reduced. And another thing is that it will increase the farm income. It will support Indian farmers, increase their capital investment, and it will increase the farm income. By 2030, we will produce around 28 lakh tons of oil seeds. Then Indian tent turtle. What is Indian tent turtle? Recently, Minister of State, Environment, Forest and Climate Change provided information regarding Indian tent turtle. What is that? Its name is Indian tent turtle. Its name is Pangsura tentoria. Scientific name is Pangsura tentoria. Indian tent turtle. It's a species of turtle of family Gemodidae. Right? Geomyidae, that is the family of Indian tent turtle. This species to India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and three subspecies are from region. For example, it occurs in peninsular India, recorded in Odisha, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Madhya Pradesh, tentoria, and circumdata. It is occurs in western tributaries of Ganga and rivers of Gujarat. That is circumdata. PT tentoria, PT circumdata. It is found in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Gujarat. PT flaviventer. It occurs northern tributaries of Ganga, recorded from Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and Assam. So these are the species native to India. Turtle species, that is scientific name is Pangsura tentoria, that is Indian tent turtle. What are the characteristics? The size of carapace ranges from 20 cm to 26 cm depending upon the subspecies. Carapace means of origin. The color of the turtles should vary according to the each subspecies. Color also varies between different species, subspecies. Okay. What is the objective of this tent turtle? Its habitat. Its habitat still include still water pools on the river side, slow running water near the river banks. These are active swimmers and they are mainly herbivorous. Active swimmer herbivorous, and they like to stay in still water pools and slowly running water. Preferred habitats are freshwater rivers and swamps. Swamps means small wetlands like types area, swamp, right? Marshlands. Due to attractive appearance of the species, they are illegally traded in the pet market. They are illegally traded in the pet market. That is the problem with tent species, right? Tent turtles. They are illegally traded for because they have good appearance. Then conservation approach. Indian turtle is listed in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act. Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act means it needs, according to Schedule 1 1972, protection is urgently needed. Government India has taken several steps to protect wildlife and its habitat, including Indian tent turtle species. Important species taken in this regard include protected areas, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserve, community reserves, right, created to covering important habitats to provide better protection to wildlife, including threatened species in their habitat. IUCN status is least concern. Remember, IUCN status of Indian turtle is least concern, right? And it is what it is protected under Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Schedule 1. IUCN status is least concern. World Health Day. World Health Day was observed on 7th April. World Health Day was observed in 7th April. World Health Day. It is celebrated annually each year to attention for specific health topic to the concerned people all over the world. Right? To be concerned regarding health, World Health Day. It marks the anniversary of the founding of World Health Organization 1948. Anniversary of World Health Organization 1948. It marked the founding. The first World Health Day was celebrated and observed in 1950. Why we are celebrating World Health Day? To create awareness regarding health policies of the government and how to improve our health. Every year World Health Day is observed to draw public attention to specific health related topic. Public attention. What happens? We discuss whenever a topic comes in public discourse, if the demand rises, then what happens? Based on public opinion, government shape their policies. We say that media highlights. Whenever media highlights a particular issue, that issue generally government tends to solve that because that popular wishes are associated with that, and government want to win vote, right? If they want to remain power, they have to satisfy the people. That's why in democracy this public attention or this discussion is very important. Then theme, our planet and our health. Theme was our planet and our health. Our planet and our health. Started on 7th April. Significance. It is celebrated every year to raise awareness about ongoing health issues that concern people across the world. WHO organizes international, regional and local events on the day related to the particular theme. Then, Ganoderma lucidum. What is Ganoderma lucidum? Attempts are being made to popularize Ganoderma lucidum mushroom. Ganoderma lucidum mushroom for business and livelihood. Ganoderma lucidum mushroom. Cultivating on wood logs and sawdust. Earlier it was only collected from the wild, but now it is increasing demand pushed the attempts to artificially cultivate it. Ganoderma lucidum, this mushroom is shiny red brown, naturally grows on wood. It has been cultivated in various wood logs such as sawdust substrates, wheat bran, tea leaves, cotton husk, and other additional substrates. It prefers broad-leaved tree species like acacia, poplar, oak, maple, melia, eucalyptus, heavier, tectona, grevia. So all these broad-leaved species, they are mushrooms. These shiny red brown mushrooms are produced in such trees, in the woods of such trees. Ganoderma lucidum, remember, it is a mushroom variety. The mother culture of Ganoderma lucidum is commonly prepared from fruiting body by tissue culture method. It is a further used to prepare its spawn. Tissue culture method, they are prepared, right? The tissue culture means that in a laboratory their population has increased or they are commonly prepared. Ganoderma lucidum, right? Goes by tissue culture. History. What is the history of Ganoderma lucidum? It is a consumption of mushroom can be traced back to 5,000 years ago in China. Consumption of mushroom traced back to 5,000 years ago in China. Consumption of mushroom started. It was also found on historical and medical records of countries like Japan, Korea, and Malaysia and India. It is seen that they are using also mushrooms. Then, first successful artificial cultivation was done in 1969 by technicians of Chinese Army of Science. 1969, first successful artificial cultivation. Then geographical condition. It thrives well on warm and humid climates and grows preferably in mixed forest in subtropical temperate regions. Warm and humid climates. Unlike normal mushrooms, this peculiar character is one that it grows on wood and wood-based substrate only. It grows only on wood and wood-based substrate only. This is Ganoderma lucidum. Especially it grows on wood. Utility. Apart from medicines, Ganoderma lucidum is also used as a base material for manufacturing products such as tea, coffee, energy supplements, health boosters, beverages, baked food, and anti-aging cosmetics. So such type of mushrooms is used for various purposes. It's a medicinal mushroom in use of for centuries to heal diseases like diabetes, cancer, inflammation, ulcer, as well as bacterial and skin infections. Right. So it has medicinal properties and also it has anti-aging cosmetics. It is used in various health boosters, energy supplements. They have earned it monikers such as mushroom of immorality. It is called mushroom of immorality or celestial herb or auspicious herb. Ganoderma, this Ganoderma lucidum, right? Then India, however, potential of the fungus is still being explored. Potential of the fungus is still being explored. It is globally known as red resi mushroom. Red resi mushroom, globally known red resi mushroom. This is very important for limbs. Red resi mushroom. So mushroom of immorality or auspicious herbs. This is also called auspicious herb. It grows only on wood waste. It is mushroom cultivation. Mushroom cultivation started 5,000 years ago in China. In India, however, there is a huge potential, but of such type of fungus is to be explored. The reason the mushroom is not getting much popularity in other herbal area products might be fact that its mass production is restricted to countries Japan, Korea, and Malaysia. It is highly produced in Japan, Korea, and Malaysia, and Thailand, United States of America, not in case of India. Right? Such type of mushroom is not developed in case of India. Right? Awareness regarding Ganoderma is spreading to the demand for the mushroom has pushed many countries, including India, to produce on a large scale and manufacture its products. India is a country where majority of the population primarily relies on agriculture and has a great potential to cultivate this mushroom. It can be sown indoors. It can be grown indoors and thus safe from the impact of extreme weather conditions like man-wildlife conflicts, harsh topography, and poor soil conditions. So it can be also stored indoors. Another thing is that there is a good potential for India because there is huge mass of the population are engaged in agriculture. In South Asia, in China, Japan, Korea, and Malaysia, it is heavily produced. Right, there is a high production of Ganoderma mushrooms. Okay, World Bank has supported India since independence by giving large loan for its economic development. Evaluate the role of the facility objectives. What is the role of World Bank? Right? World Bank. The World Bank is an international organization called as Bretton Woods organization. Right? Providing financial advices. World Bank, international organization dedicated for providing financial advice, research to developing nations and aid their economic advancement by providing loan. The bank predominantly acts in an organization that attempts to fight poverty by offering developmental assistance. Development assistance to the middle and low income countries. Like various projects, huge money is given as a loan for developmental assistance. The World Bank has created 1944 out of Bretton Woods. It was created 1944 out of Bretton Woods Agreement and was secured under the auspices of United Nations and in the latter days of World War II. The World Bank headquarters is at Washington DC. Headquarters at Washington DC. It is a member of it is under the United Nations and also it gives aid to the developing nations to increase their economic achievement. World Bank support for India since independence. The cooperation between World Bank and India goes back to the foundation of International Bank of Restructuring and Development 1944. India is a founder member of both World Bank or IMF. It is called as founding member of both. Right. India received the fast rank loan of $34 million from International Bank of Reconstruction and Development November 1948 for a railway rehabilitation. 1950 RBRD of India's sole source of World Bank borrowings. RBRD was providing various loans in 1950s. them. During 1960s and 70s, International Development IDA, that is branch of World Bank, accounted nearly three-fourths of all World Bank lending to in India. Three-fourths of all World Bank lending to India, and in turn, India was far largest recipient of IDA funds, accounting more than 250 of its lending was coming to India. Right. Okay. The lending portfolio changes sharply after 1991's macroeconomic crisis. India became one of the largest important borrowers in order to undertake the structural advancement lending. Currently, World Bank Group has approved 30 billion commitment plan for India for the period of 2019 and 2022. So, World Bank throughout the history, World Bank has been a very good friend of India for providing funds for various founding projects. Right. Then World Bank's role as facilitator as developmental objectives. Education. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan program aimed at providing elementary education to around 200 million children across the country. It is also cooperating. World Bank is also cooperating with Melinda and Gates Foundation. Odisha Higher Education Program, Excellence and Odisha Higher Education Program for Excellence and Equity. The development objective of program is to improve the quality of students and equity access to selected institutions and enhance governance of the higher education system in India. That is Odisha Higher Education Program for Excellence and Equity. What is the contribution of World Bank for agriculture? For agriculture, National Dairy Support Project. National Dairy Support Project, the development objective was to increase productivity of milk animals and improve market access for milk producer on the project areas. It was helped in case of National Dairy Support Project. Atal Bahujal Yojana, the National Groundwater Management Improvement Initiative ensuring long-term sustainability of groundwater resources in the country. So all these projects are with the help of United Nations. In the help of all these projects, of World Bank, right? Next, program towards elimination of tuberculosis. Program towards elimination of tuberculosis. The objective of the program is to improve the coverage and quality of control intervention private sector in targeted states of the area to recover the elimination of tuberculosis or TB. Innovate in India for inclusiveness. The development objective innovate India for inclusiveness is to facilitate innovation by biopharmaceutical products, medical services, and address public health priorities of India. So, it is welcoming for to invest in the health and in inclusiveness. That means during the growth process, the every people must be participated. Even those people who are suffering from diseases, they will participate in the growth process. That is inclusive growth. And food security, National Nutrition Mission. The development objective is to support the government of India and participate in the state. There is National Nutrition Mission was launched. Strengthen the Integrated Child Development Program. It will strengthen the Integrated Child Development ICDS policy framework. System capabilities, facilitate community engagement to ensure better focus on children under 3 years of the age. That is to reduce the maternal mortality and child mortality. So it is ensuring food security, is ensuring good health. It is facilitating the agriculture. So World Bank is providing huge amount of money for investments. One issue is that there is lack some areas there is lack of infrastructure. But so far as World Bank is concerned, its help is it's so much, right? It's significant. Okay. What are the with reference to palm oil? Consider the following statements. Palm oil. It is native to Southeast Asia. Oil is native to Southeast Asia. Oil can no. So it is produced in various parts in the world, right? Not only South Asia. So first statement is wrong. Palm oil can be used to produce biodiesel. Yes, Indonesia government is doing it, producing biodiesel. India is in top. Indonesia is no, it is Malaysia who is top supplier of palm oil. So this statement is wrong. Only two option is the right answer. Malaysia has surprise palm oil is concerned. With reference to National Mission on Edible Oil Palm, NMEOP, consider the following statements. It is a central sector scheme. No, I have already said it is not a central sector scheme. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. That means that will be shared by both the central government and the state government. It is special focus will be northeastern region. It is right. And Andaman Nicobar, not Lakshadweep. It is Andaman Nicobar. So these both statements are wrong. So 1, 2 are wrong. So only 3 is the right answer. The proposed scheme will subsume current national food security scheme mission oil program. Yes, this is right answer. So it is a centralized sector scheme, and the Andaman Nicobar Island and Northeast region are specially focused. With reference to Indian tent turtle, consider the following statements. Primarily, riverine turtle inhabiting small and large rivers. Yes. Its favored habitat is freshwater reserves and swamps. I have already discussed it. I would say this is vulnerable. No, this is least concern. It is least concern according to IUCN, but it is listed in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 because many are poaching it because of its beauty. Right. So 1 to 4 options are right answer. It is in Schedule 1, but it is least concern. It is not vulnerable. Ganoderma lucidum is recently in the news. It is a fungus or a mushroom, especially it is a mushroom, right? Mushroom cultivation, one type of mushroom cultivation. We refer to Indian polity consider the following statement. Arjun motion is included in both the houses of parliament. No, it is only in case of Lok Sabha. Arjun motion it continues for 2.30 hours. It is introduced in the Lok Sabha. Adjournment motion is the support of 50 members is admitted. Yes, it is required. No combination motion can only be in Lok Sabha because why? Because Lok Sabha is that collectively responsible because Council of Ministers is collectively Lok Sabha to collectively responsible to Lok Sabha, not to the whole house, right? So this substatement is wrong. So 2, 3 options are right answer. So here the lectures ends, and like this video, share this video and subscribe to Vanik-Ias Academy. Thank you.